Yeah, I didn't really have an idea what to talk about today, so I'm just kind of talking out loud, thinking out loud with no inner monologue. Welcome to the Superpilotish channel. My name's Graham Wilson, and today, not out in the field flying a kite, but in my basement, I'm going to be telling you and kind of thinking about it myself. How does a kite actually fly? I never really thought about it today. Someone brought it up. Remember, and going back in down memory lane about the bat kite. Anyone remember the bat kite? Am I old? Do they still make that? I think they do. I was just looking on the internet, and turns out these old kites that I grew up with, some of those models are still made. So just for fun, let's take a look at some of these cool models. Now, this is by the. I'm gonna check this out. This is the one that was on my thumbnail here. That's the good old Sky Spy. Do you remember flying one of those things when you were a kid? And yeah, and this type of like kind of cheap plastic kite, they were everywhere. It seemed in the springtime, the corner stores or the hobby shop or wherever, and they're all over the place. And just for fun, for all you old people out there too. All right, you want to see another one? Dun, dun. Oh, who had that one? Who had the eagle? Yeah, I looked at a couple of these things online. I was like, wow, I don't know if they still make this one here, but this was. Oh, Daniel, thanks for talking about the audio is okay and everything. Good. Yeah, so there's the eagle, and this is by the company called Gala. But when I was a little kid, I remember it was called Gala Ha, and I kind of Googled it really quick, and it's just called Gala now. And it seems to me when I was a kid, it switched, the ha part went away. And here we go. We'll bring up the most famous Gala kite, the bat kite. Dun, dun, dun. So you get your baby bat, and you get your little stickers. You put your sticker eyes on there, and there you go. You got your bat kite. So it probably didn't cost too much to make these things. It was just like plastic. But apparently they're still in business, and you can buy this stuff on Amazon, and there you go. So that's your basic cheapo kite. Now you can get quite into kites, and they can get very expensive. I had a neighbor of mine got into kites a while back, and he said he was like getting addicted to kites and getting in his car and driving off to Chicago to the kite conference and buying $3,000 kite. So it's like, yeah, you can get into this stuff quite a bit. But I was just kind of thinking, how does that actually fly? And yeah, I never really thought about it. So let's just see, like, when you're a kid, I'll bring out the old whiteboard here to illustrate with my fine illustrations. So here we go. Let's see. Let's launch a kite. So there we go. Here we are. We're in the middle of the field or on the beach or wherever you are, and there's some dude over here, and he's taking a look at his kite. He's quite happy. There we go. There's a guy. he's looking over at his. Someone else is going to be launching a kite here, and I guess he probably has to have a string. Oh yeah, and then you always had that like kind of like I don't know, you get your string, and you stick it on a I don't know, piece of plastic. Or they used to sell it on plastic, and it looked all good at the store, and then you rewind it all up, and it all falls off and gets knots and rips and stuff and breaks and everything. But okay, so he's going to hold his little string here. We're going to be launching let's launch ourselves a little baby bat or something, or some eagle. I don't know. Does that look like a kite? We got someone else over here holding it. Okay, some other kid over here is holding it, looking pretty happy too. And this guy, maybe this guy's got, like, I don't know, got a hat on because it's cold. I don't know. There we go. So we got this guy, and we're going to be launching this kite over here. And so, like, I was thinking about it, and it's like, well, okay, if you're thinking as a pilot, if you have a wing, like, airplanes don't take off that way. How does it get going? So this is where we get into a little bit of aerodynamics. So when this guy's launching this kite, your partner is helping you launch that kite. You are requiring them to just, like, the wind's coming this way. So let's get our wind going this way. The wind's at your back, right? So you want to get that wind so the kite will go up here. So this person here will throw it up in the air, and then you start running that way, right? So, okay, now at this point here, you're not going to get any lift, but if they manage to get that up in the air a bit more, let's see how good my skills are here. All right, this is probably the best looking kite ever. Okay, so there you go. This guy throws it up in the air like that. Aha. Now you notice that the angle of the kite with the wind. Okay, now it's starting to look, it's getting more that way, right? And if we reference our flight training manual that we teach people how to fly with, this is all about how a wing stalls. Okay, so we got all this stuff here. You see all those little I don't know, that's boundary layers, and then there's all kinds of little swirly air, and you want kind of clean air going over it. And if it's up too much, you're going to stall. So okay, so according to I'm referencing now, depending on the design of the wing or the airfoil or the kite or whatever, the angles that I'm talking about could be off a little bit, but generally, if this thing is going to be flying along up here, you're going to want like about 8 degrees, and it'll just fly right around. So like this, and once you got your kite up there, it'll just kind of hang out. It's got like optimum amount of lift. If the wind ever dies down, then it'll start coming down a little bit more, and you got to run back to simulate having the wind, the relative wind to it. So basically, you got like 8 degrees here, and it'll hang around. Here, if you go like around 12 degrees, that'll start really climbing until it gets to about 8 degrees. So there's like a certain point where if it's here, that it won't go anywhere because your kite is stalled, like a wing is stalled on an airplane. I will. We're getting off. I'm just kind of thinking about this myself. Of course, when you're a kid, you don't really think about that too much. It's just kind of like, oh, go and run. But that's actually what's happening. Is your little airplane here wing operates the same as a kind of a kite wing. And if you look at the, I was just thinking here too with my no inner monologue. I was also thinking like the Wright brothers, when they first started off, they started off basically with kites, and then they stuck a motor on it to create their own wind. So there we go. Yeah, so like just like you don't see an airplane flying like this, unless it's like some kind of weird stunt airplane in an air show. But yeah, it's like if this was your kite, it would be someone throws it, it gets up in the air, starts to get a little bit more lift as you pull it, and then it goes up higher, and then you're at about 8 degrees, and it just hangs around up there. So there we go. That's how that works. And then if you ever notice that, and I was thinking about it too, if you know how your kite, it might kind of come down, and once it starts dipping down a little bit, like here's your kite, and when it does that, you're trying to like, run faster to get it come back up again. But after a certain point, you're just kind of pulling it into the ground, and then it just noses into the ground, boom. Then you break your kite, you go get another one, or you give up for the season and I don't know, wait till next year to buy yourself another baby bat. But yeah, so it all has to do with what angle you got here. So that kind of, in my mind, after thinking about it with no inner monologue, I've kind of figured out, that's how kites fly. So if you're starting off, you're launching it, you don't want to be too far away because you have to get it up to that proper angle. So if you have a shorter, string, you can get up to that angle where it's at the climbing angle, 12 degrees, then it comes up to about 8 degrees up there. So you got like about 4 degrees of angle in there for it to play around with. So, and then once it gets up here, you let out a whole bunch of string, and then it's going away. It's losing its relative wind, so it's going to drop down. It's going to be kind of, it's going to drop down a bit. Then it gets more lift and comes back up higher. So I think that's the way that works. Anyways, yeah, there we go. More great kite stuff. And of course, you could check out like other YouTube videos too on that if you want to see it. But I don't know. I had like absolutely no idea what to talk about before this show. So let's review and check out the cool kites here. There you go. There we go. That is the Sky Spy. That is the Eagle. I think I've owned like when I was a kid, I had like every one of these. And there's your baby bat with your stick-on eyes. It seems to me there was some green eyes on that too. I'm not too sure, but anyways, there we go. Yeah, I don't have really a whole lot to talk about today, and oh well, what the heck? There you go. Thanks for showing up, Daniel. And okay, so what day is today? Today's Friday, pizza day, and just before getting on here, my camera kind of broke, so I'm glad it's still there. I got to fix that. Yeah, Friday. So I'll be back on Monday because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, what do we got here? Wrench is popping in at the very end. Okay, yeah, because it's like, yeah, Wrench, I'm just cutting it kind of short today because I didn't have too much to talk about. All right, what's Wrench talking about? He has a shark kite. Once his brother bought a dragon kite from China Tourism. Never fly it. Yep. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. It's kind of more of a kid thing. But then, I don't see any kids flying kites or mowing lawns or anything these days. Okay. And there we go. Daniel also found himself nodding his head the entire time. I tell you, man, when I was looking at these kites, I was like, oh my God, check that out. Holy crap. I had that one. And this one too. Oh, I had that one. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, what a blast from the past. Okay. And Wrench is talking about as a kid, he tried to make a 12-foot wingspan homemade kite, didn't understand center of gravity. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's probably a lot you could get into with kite design if you want to go nuts. And I bet you could even get into it with like weird, like all the fluid dynamic software and everything they have now. You can probably get some really awesome kites. But here we go. Oh, and the sounds they made too. Luffing, yeah, it's like, you could hear it, up in and if it was really windy, you could hear it up there too. That's pretty cool. And you get all cold, your nose gets cold, your hands get cold, you come in and or the string snaps and it goes way off into someone's yard, and there's a dog in the yard, or you don't know where it went. It went way up there. And then you try to get the string and you go, oh, let's buy extra string, and you see how high you can get, and then the string breaks and it's just gone. So, oh, what do we got here too? Oh yeah, okay. Wrench had the 2-string kite once, difficult but fun. Parafoil's cool too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they kind of came out with those if you had two, and then you would change the lift on each side of the kite and to make it bank and stuff like that. Yeah, that's right. Oh well, there we go. I was just signing off and we got a few comments here. So but yeah, so anyways, go out there. Good luck with your kite. Have a good weekend. And yeah, I think we'll just kind of shut it down here. And well, what do we got here? Oh, we got more. Daniel was coated broken glass on glued string and fought them against each other. Yeah, that's a big thing in I know India and Africa and stuff like that. People get up on the roofs and they try to get the one line on top of the other one and cut it and stuff like that. And oh yeah, here we go. Kite Runner book did that too. Yep. So all right. Okay, now I'm gonna shut her down because whatever. I got some stuff I gotta do this afternoon. And yeah, so we'll see you on Monday because I do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern. And we'll just kind of shut her down. So guys, have a great weekend and thanks for watching. And that's about it. Bye.